There was fire all around. There was no way out. Everyone was running here and there. Kevin is trying to get a bus full of children out of this fire. Now, will he succeed in this mission? Let's move on to the story to find out. So this film begins in November 2018. We see Kevin, who is the main character of the story, and he is a driver. But his day was normal like any other. He worked as a bus driver at a school, receiving a very low salary, making it very difficult to make ends meet. Kevin lives with his mother and a son who doesn't listen to him. Kevin repeatedly tells him to go to school, but he doesn't listen. Kevin is at a loss about how to handle his son. He also has a dog. He finds out that the dog is also sick, so he takes it to the hospital. He thought that when trouble comes, it comes from all sides. People get badly trapped, but he still wasn't losing courage. The next day he goes to school again, where he picks up the children in the bus and drops them at school. Currently, there is a city named Paradise in California, where the weather is usually dry and hot. We see electric poles atop the hills. There is a short circuit in one of the electric wires, causing sparks to fall onto the grass. Now, because the weather was completely dry, the grass was also dry, and it catches fire. This fire quickly starts moving towards the forest where the entire Paradise City is located. The people inside the city had no idea about the impending danger. Now Kevin drops the children at school and then has to take his bus to the garage for repairs. By then, the fire had spread widely in the forest. Some policemen see the fire and immediately inform the firefighters. The firefighters arrive but realize the fire is on top of the hill, making it difficult to reach. But they don't lose courage and try to reach the hilltop from another route. But some workers get trapped in the fire. We also see Kevin, who was heading to the garage with the school bus. He still had no information about the fire. He receives a call from his mother at home. She tells him that his son is throwing up and needs to be taken to the hospital. So Kevin says there's no need to worry. I have the bus and I'm coming back with medicines from a medical store. That's why he heads straight to the medical store instead of the garage, as he also needs to save his son's life. Now standing inside the city, the smoke could be clearly seen. They realize the wind is blowing towards them, meaning the fire will reach the city soon. Policemen gather at a spot and try to find out how this fire started, because forest fires in America are a common occurrence. But such an intense fire was not normal. Some small fires are controlled at that time, but the fire in this area was still not under control. The police find out that there are power lines there, and when the sparks flew, the wind was strong, but the power wasn't shut off, and that's why the fire started. Soon, some people from the electricity department arrived there. The firefighters are quite angry at them, asking if they didn't know the wind was blowing so strongly. You should have cut the power. Following the firefighters' remarks, the department's men shut off all the power because they know more accidents like this could happen. Then we see an officer who is in the FBI. He tells the firefighters that he's trapped in the fire, but there are some houses here that have caught fire and need help. That's why he himself helps people here. These were the houses that weren't built near the forest. So he picks up some people in his car and saves their lives by taking them away from here. Now the firefighters realize that this fire has been burning for a long time. It is spreading quite far. This fire has engulfed an area of at least 5 kilometers. Kevin also receives a call from his boss. She says if the bus is fixed in the garage, then quickly bring it over because we'll be letting the kids off early today. But Kevin hadn't taken the bus to the garage at all. He was heading home with medicines. Fire brigade vehicles couldn't reach that high, so small helicopters and planes were used. These planes drop water over the forest to try to control the fire. But controlling such an intense fire seemed very difficult. The fire was only spreading, so they demanded more helicopters to extinguish it because it was impossible to do so from the ground. Now the FBI officer was saving some people and coming out of the forest, but the fire surrounds him. He realizes that he cannot escape from here. That's why he sends everyone into the pond so that they can save their lives. Kevin also finds out that a massive fire has broken out in the forest and fire brigade trucks are heading in that direction. That's why he talks to his son and says, I will reach you very soon, and no matter what happens, do not leave the house. Because the cloud of smoke had completely spread everywhere. All the children are inside the school. They were also able to see the cloud of smoke from the windows. They also realized that there is a fire somewhere. There was also a teacher named Mary here. She gathers all the children in one place and tells them to sit down. Many parents had come to the school to pick up their children because they were also afraid that their children might get lost. But there were still many parents who couldn't reach their children, and these totaled 22 children. Kevin receives a call from his wife. It turns out he doesn't live with his wife. His wife also learns that something has happened to her son. That's why she tells Kevin that there's no need for him to go to our son. I will take him from your house. There, a worker inside the school tells all drivers that if any driver's bus is empty, please go to the school and take the children with you because there are still 22 children trapped here. Their parents couldn't reach us, and in return, no bus driver responds. Only Kevin was near the school. Why he responds and says that he will reach the school very soon. I will rescue and get the children out. That's why Kevin quickly drives his bus from here towards the school. He has to rescue the children and take them to an empty place in Chico. So Kevin quickly reaches the school. He gets all the children on his bus. The teacher named Mary tells Kevin to take all these children to Chico where there is an empty place. But Kevin says that he can't do this alone. Someone has to go with me. So Mary says, all right, I'll go with you. That's why Mary also sits on the bus with the children and they leave from here. The children were also comfortably seated in their seats. The police and fire brigade are busy extinguishing the fire. They became extremely tense due to the growing fire. Bus Kevin was driving also gets stuck in a traffic jam. There was quite a long traffic jam because everyone was thinking about getting out of here. Due to this, all the vehicles suddenly came onto the highway and a jam occurred. Waiting like this, night falls. Kevin realizes that there is no way out of here. Even so, he manages to get Mary seated and tells her, I will try to clear the way ahead. You follow slowly behind with the bus. Mary does just that. Kevin started moving cars out of the way, saying, I have children with me, so please let us through. When some people give way. After a lot of effort, Kevin's bus manages to get out from here, and this way, Kevin drives the bus forward to a place. He sees that there is a very intense fire here. All the houses are burning. Mary also says that we shouldn't stop here. We need to take these children to the place we were told to go. Kevin now moves forward from here as well. There were flames of fire all around, and due to the smoke, it was getting dark. Due to the heat of the fire, all the children were frightened, but Mary was trying her best to manage these children. Now at the campsite called Chico, some tents were set up. All the injured people were coming there. All the buses were also instructed to come here. But so far, one bus hadn't arrived, and that was Kevin's. Because of this, the parents of all the children inside the bus become very worried here. Where Kevin was driving the bus, nothing could be seen ahead. But Kevin was driving the bus based on estimation. All the children were drenched in sweat and were calling out for water, but finding water nearby was very difficult. So Kevin stops the bus at a place where the fire was a bit less. Mary says, I'll go check the nearby houses for water. That's why she goes into a house near the fuel station and starts collecting bottles of water from there. But then the fuel station also explodes and Mary narrowly escapes. But she somehow brought water for the children. Only then are the children's thirst quenched. Now the fire had spread even more. Kevin kept moving forward with the bus. He didn't know where the road would lead because there was only darkness all around and nothing besides darkness. He tries to explain to all the parents that you don't need to worry. The bus with the children is being driven by a good driver named Kevin, and a teacher named Mary is also on the same bus with the children. So they will bring the children here safely. Just trust me. Let the police and others do their work. As Kevin was moving forward, he saw some people running away. They told Kevin not to take the bus forward because there's no way ahead. You should start running on foot too. But Kevin has 22 children with him. He can't leave the children and run on foot. So he tells Mary to stay seated on the bus. I'll try to find a way. When he goes to check the other side, he finds out there's no way out from here. There's fire all around. That means there's fire ahead and behind. So he decides to keep the bus here for a while until the fire calms down a bit or the wind slows down. All the children were crying. Mary was trying to calm them down. He tells Mary that he has an idea. Tear my t-shirt and put it over the children's mouths so the toxic gas doesn't get inside them. She does just that. Kevin makes small pieces of his t-shirt, wets them with water, and gives them to the children to put on their noses so they can survive. Even the police officers are starting to lose their courage. They realize that this large fire can't be controlled because it has spread not only in a small area but over a vast region. It can't be extinguished with the help of helicopters or jets, nor with fire brigade trucks. So they decide that they must focus on only one thing, saving lives. The senior officers of the fire brigade also give the same statement to the media that there's no need to worry. All the people or children trapped in the fire, we will get them out safely. Meanwhile, Kevin and Mary start talking to each other and sharing their grief because they feel their last moments have arrived. But after a while, they realize that the fire has come very close. Kevin immediately gets off the bus and tries to extinguish the surrounding fire, but the wind is blowing very fast, so the fire doesn't get extinguished. Seeing this, Kevin understands that no one will come to help them now. So he gets back on the bus and decides that no matter what happens, he has to drive the bus forward. The bus doesn't start initially, but Kevin keeps trying. After a long attempt, the bus finally starts and he begins to drive it through the fire. It was a very risky task because if a burning tree fell on the bus or the bus caught fire, saving these children would be impossible. They had kept the windows and doors closed. This is why smoke hadn't entered yet, and despite not seeing anything, Kevin kept driving the bus by estimation and continued moving forward. And after much effort, he reaches a place where the fire hadn't reached, and thus he manages to get out of that area. Then, from here, he takes his bus to the place where he was instructed to bring it. Parents were standing there looking sad, but as soon as they see the bus, they realize that their children have arrived safely. This makes all the parents happy, and they take care of their children. Along with that, the parents also thank Mary and Kevin because they saved all the children's lives without caring for their own and brought them safely. Now Kevin also had to find his family. He goes inside the camp here to find his family where he sees his mother. He is overjoyed to see his mother and immediately asks her, "Where is my son?" His mother says that his wife has taken their son with her. Now, a few days after the fire incident, the time is shown where the fire was finally extinguished somehow. But even after the fire was extinguished, it had left its marks behind. Kevin goes near his burnt house and starts looking at his family's photo there. He was also saddened that everyone's houses, along with his, had burned to ashes. Just then, a vehicle comes and Kevin starts looking towards it. His wife and son come out from the car. Their son met Kevin, and both father and son are safe, which makes them very happy. Kevin's wife also realized her mistake, and they decide to live together again because they had gone through such a major disaster. They had faced many difficulties, which made them understand the importance of family and how good it is to stay together. And with this, the story of this film ends here.